A pretty dramatic story you're hearing right now, Brittany. Tell us about it.
That's right. We actually are with Lawrence, whose son is in the school, and he actually was one of those students who ran when he heard the gunshots and jumped out the window and came here to the elementary school. Lawrence, tell me a little bit of what your son was telling you.
Well, he told me he was in class in the A hall. He heard 2 to 6 shots ring out coming from around the B hall. So his teacher, whose class he was in, closed the door, in which allowed him and more students to jump out the window and seek shelter at the school next door.
As a parent, how are you feeling that your son just went through this?
Yeah, my oldest boy, he just went through it when he was a senior here last year, so now his brother is going through it as a freshman. You know, something has to be done. And all of the kids now, you know, at the stadium, and parents are having a hard time at getting to their kids to pick them up. So, like, it's just, it's things all over the place.
Yeah, I see you shaking your head. Is there frustration there?
Yeah, of course. Like, it's 2 years in a row. Like, something has to be done. There's such, like, you know, you go to drop off something, you got to show your ID, you got to go through several things to get in as parents, but, like, now, you know, a gunman can slide through the crack, I guess.
Yeah, and how do you feel? I know your son is safe. You were able to reunite with him.
Yeah. All is well now for me, but, you know, I can't say the same for all the other parents out here.
And then thank you again for speaking with us. And I'm glad you are safe and your son is safe and that you all were able to reunite back with each other.
Right.
So, and that's just one of the many stories that we're finding here. Again, over at the elementary school, there's a group of high school students who immediately took off running when they heard those gunshots go off, and they ran here to the elementary, and that's where there's a line of parents still waiting to reunite with their children. Some of them high school students, some of them are the elementary schools, and we'll stand out here and continue to talk to parents and students as more are reunited with their families. Chris?
And Brittany, just a quick question. I just want to go back to something that he just said. He had a son at school last year, senior year. He goes through a school shooting, rushes to the school, makes sure his son is okay. The son graduates. His younger child is now a freshman, and he's back at the very same school going through the exact same thing. It's hard to understand how that could happen.
It is, Chris, and you know, there's a lot of questions that parents have here, and that one question there is how? You know, how could this happen again? As you mentioned, this one parent, his son went through it last year, his senior year, and now his freshman son is going through the same thing, and it's almost just 3 days after the date from last year, which was April 12th. We're April 15th, and so this is almost just a year later. A similar incident has happened again, so naturally parents are frustrated, and they have a lot of questions, and they want to know why.
Brittany, you were outside the elementary school. I believe it's just right around the corner from you, right there. I'm sure it went on lockdown as soon as this happened at the high school, which is just north of it. There, they share the same property. But is it regular dismissal, from what you can tell, there at the elementary school as well?
From what I can tell, and we can actually pan over to show you some of the elementary school here. Right now, we haven't seen any of the elementary school students come out that we've seen. There's a few students out there, but we're not sure if they were brought out from in this particular school. Mostly those that are standing near the door there are parents, and another student told me that the parents are waiting there so that way they can get to their children, but we haven't quite yet seen a lot of people with their children and reuniting with their children over there. Not a lot of movement, but definitely on this side there's parents that's been walking. They've been walking all up and through between the elementary school and the high school, and some of them have been able to reunite with their students, but then there's others that are still waiting, and so that's where we're standing right now. We'll keep an eye on that elementary school too, and we haven't had a chance to go over there just yet, but we're going to go over there to see if any of the students have been able to reunite with their families and their parents on the elementary school side as well.
Brittany, good work. It's Brittany Moncrief out there. She is in between the high school at Wilmer-Hutchins and the elementary school there. Great work. You know, last year this time, Chris, you and I were talking about hearing from Dr. Stephanie Elizalde, who's the superintendent, fantastic superintendent at Dallas ISD. But I think one of her quotes last year was, "Dallas got lucky today." And here we are a year later. Dallas got lucky again. At some point, if something's not done, luck is going to run out. And that speaks to why Dia is hearing so much tension from parents out there waiting to be reunified, why Brittany just heard that as well, too, and why so many parents, not only at the high school, but right behind at the elementary school, are no doubt scared to death when this news happened right after lunch.
Yeah, I mean, they got the reassurances last year.
Right.
They had the community meetings with Maxie Johnson, the Dallas ISD trustee, who tried to bring some folks together to talk about what could be done to improve security. So after hearing it last year and then a year later, you're going through the same thing. Frustration probably is too nice of a word for how they're feeling right now. We did just get a statement from Congressman Jasmine Crockett. Naturally, she says she is heartbroken to learn of yet another shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins. She said that no child should fear for their life at school. No teacher should have to barricade a classroom door. And let me be clear, this is not normal. This is not acceptable. So again, that's Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett talking about what's happened today at Wilmer-Hutchins.
So here we are about 3 hours after this incident happened. There are 4 people who are injured. 3 of them are at Baylor, Scott and White, downtown Dallas, non-life-threatening injuries. 1 is at Methodist Hospital in North Oak Cliff, non-life-threatening as well, too. We understand at least 1 of those 4 people were shot. How that suspect, who apparently police know who that is, according to the Mayor Pro Tem of Dallas, Tanell Atkins, how that suspect got into the school or got a firearm into the school is still kind of up in the air. The Mayor Pro Tem said he was told by law enforcement that someone opened a door, a locked door, at that school to allow somebody inside. If that is the case, it's certainly another situation that the school district is going to have to figure out how to get this settled. This happened right after lunch, though, and here we are 3 hours later, and it's going to be an active scene for hours to come. A few ways you can tell that. We saw a few moments ago in the helicopter footage, tables set up right in the front. A crate of water, a pallet full of water is out there too. So as parents are coming to reunify with their students, you see there on the bleachers at the football stadium on the south side of Wilmer-Hutchins High School, it is going to be a long investigative night for Dallas police, for Dallas ISD police, for Wilmer police, for Dallas County, everyone else who's helping out with this. We understand the ATF is even there just to lend a hand if necessary. So federal agents from downtown Dallas have also gone down there to help in this situation, to get to the bottom of how a student was shot at Wilmer-Hutchins. The best news of all this is that student is non-life threatening. It's not a critical shooting, but still parents have answers, have questions, and they deserve answers.
Yeah, and as you take a look now at some of the students who are lined up there on some of the bleachers there, Eagles Stadium is the reunification point for parents who want to reunite and take their child home. Again, Eagles Stadium right there on Langdon Road. That is the site that's been designated as the point where parents can now go there, and as long as you have an ID to show the officials, that you can then bring your child home. Let's get back out to the scene. We have different reporters at different areas of the school and the campus. Let's get back to Cole Sullivan for a look and update at what you're seeing now, Cole.
We're still seeing some confusion out here, Chris. I want to kind of step out of the way so you can see parents are still waiting to figure out when they can pick up their students or trying to find the right place to do so. And we just saw this group walk through. These are parents who were over near the elementary school, as Brittany just pointed out. They had been told, some of them, to get in their cars and drive all the way around this campus to the backside to the football field where they can pick up their students. Now it appears that police have changed at least that path and are bringing a group of these parents across the kind of field in front of the school, walking them over towards the football field where they can be reunified with their students. These are groups of parents who were gathered outside of the elementary school. Some students, it appears, who were also outside of the elementary school, maybe who had gone over that direction. They're walking over this way. This is a change from what we saw just 3, 4, 5 minutes ago, where officers were pointing, telling parents they have to drive around the other direction in order to get their kids, and parents were not happy with that. Some said they had been told by other officers to come to this this south end of campus. Some said that they were just trying to get to their kid. They wanted to get to their kid this direction. Officers were saying, sorry, we can't help you. And we even had some parents shouting expletives as they marched away from these officers who told them to walk, to go the other direction. This was one of the things that we heard from parents in the immediate aftermath of the shooting a year ago this week at this school, upset about the reunification process and the response to that process. Now we can see this slowly but surely starting to play out here live on this front field in front of the campus as parents are being led across towards that football field to be with their students. And look, you can see some are even being turned away from that football field now and told to walk in this other direction. I'm sure as parents that's a frustrating thing to see happen when you know your kids are over there, to be able to walk over this direction. We're trying to see, we're seeing this as you are, so we're trying to see where they're directing these parents to go.